Across the years, I will walk with you. And when our time on earth is finished, and on heaven too, for it is God's plan, I will take your hands.
I was just sitting down on the floor, writing on the walls of my hospital room. I don't get it. Like, why this keeps happening? I don't understand.
Kalina, look at me. That one. Eat it, honey. Kalina? Kalina, peekaboo. Kalina, peekaboo.
Yes, I will.
Go. Okay, another race, you guys. Ready, set, go.
Dad was larger than life. This larger than life utopia that you sort of were striving for. We just loved him so much, you know, and we just desired so much to be close to him, to know about him.
Starring Sean and Felicia.
Kalina and Sean, together. All the trees. Together. Okay. Sean.
Lisa, you want me to film you? That's a nice one.
I felt like the more he became distant from our lives, the more I was intrigued by him, by this mystery that revolved around we was.
Turn him, turn him, turn him. Turn him. Okay, let's go.
I heard people call him Sean, Daniel, George, Douglas. It almost seemed like he had different identities. He was living different lives.
100. Hey, raccoon.
And we're still, putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
One named Jay, one named Jack, one named Jill.
Okay, just calm down a bit. Hockey? When? Canadians? When? I'm gonna miss it. Against the Islanders?
Yeah.
Who's gonna win?
For the Rangers, and
Okay, Rangers. Who's gonna win? Kalina, who's gonna win? Oh, camera. Okay, ready? Camera's rolling. Ready? Take 2. Okay, take 3.
arrête ça.
You afraid I'm gonna stab you with it? Okay, I'm gonna just eat my bread and shut up. Before I actually do something psychotic. Okay.
Do you think you'll be functional at work?
Do they know about your condition?
No, I haven't told. I haven't. I told 2 people, but they don't. They shut their mouths about these things. It's better that other people don't know because they don't. They wouldn't understand it, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think I quite fully understand it.
Could this be like the beginning of a psychosis, or?
No. I can give you a psychosis if you really want one.
No,
You want
can't.
one?
You can't make popsicles.
But what is this right now? Mania? Hypomania?
This? You want to label it?
No, I'm just trying to understand it. I guess.
Understand what?
Do you think Dad was this way?
For me, Dad, well, I should say George Patrick Dubai, has been just my father, nothing more. Did you love George Patrick Dubai?
That's a personal question. I'm not gonna ask that. Tu vois, c'est ça. Là, je comprends. Tu vois? C'est différent.
It's really not a big deal, but sometimes it seems like a big deal.
What?
Like how I manage my space, my living space. I just feel like I'm so, you know what I mean? I'm so influenced by the way Dad kind of, you know, carried his clutter around. In one way, it's like I feel like I thrive on it, you know? It creates an atmosphere for me to, you know, start painting or writing or, I don't know, it's just weird. It's just really weird, but I feel really, really haunted by these ghosts.
The culture here was very progressive. It was during the middle of the hippie era. There was a lot of communal living. All of us that had met him, we all became, you know, friends. And as we all became closer to him, he started revealing things to us that we were blown away by, you know. He was very mysterious, but at the same time seemed very spiritual, and at the same time seemed to be on some kind of a mission. His mission was to bring together a group of people that he explained as being significant human beings. He told me that there was no coincidence that my last name was Moses. We had been important people in previous lifetimes.
One day I was going to meet a friend, and he began to share with me about a relationship that he had with this man named Sean. I also heard him called Kyoki. I think he introduced me to him as Sean, and he would explain that this Sean was a very spiritual man, almost like a guru. The way he talked about him made him sound really special, really high, and really just really, really beautiful. And that Sean had miraculously healed him. And when he said that, I looked up at Craig and I looked him in the eye and I said, "Is he Jesus?" And Craig looked at me and he just kind of nodded, yes. Sean was married to a woman named Carrie, who was the reincarnation of Mary Magdalene. And she had children by George, who were, or not George, but Sean at this point, born of Immaculate Conception.
He was just kind of like a light, you know, he really was. He said, I'm building this temple. He called it a temple. He said, because I'm going to be helping a lot of sick people and helping many, many other people. There'll be a lot of people that will come and go. He says, but it's always going to be your home.
That's what we were known as among our group, was the significance.
What did that mean? Why were you guys called the significance?
Because what we were doing was significant in the world. He was saving the world.
And he told me about when he was really young. He said the first time anything unusual happened to him, he was very young and he was in a graveyard. And he said, like, the graves spoke to him. And I said, like, what did they say? And he goes, well, I didn't really understand it when I was young, you know, but it was like they were trying to tell me something. And then later, it became more of a real communication from beyond. He saw messages and everything after that. Just the littlest thing, you know, like a newspaper article, something in a store window, you know, all over. There was always messages.
Hi, Kalina, it's me. I just want to let you know that they diagnosed me. I don't believe in putting definitions on people. I don't believe in putting a stamp on my forehead that says what I am.
I didn't sleep last night, and I probably won't sleep tomorrow night. It's my destiny. It's my mission. I'm an angel. This is what's happening.
Do that. You're already. She's already in mania. Okay.
I'm not already in mania.
No.
I'm just being myself right now. I'm just telling you that these are the messages that I've been receiving, that this is what I need to do.
No.
This is my mission.
Tapes. She's saying whatever, okay?
Are you joking? Are you joking? Or are you serious about all this?
Listen, I'm living in the moment right now.
So
this is what I'm receiving in the moment. That's all I can tell you.
I think she's in mania. I'm super serious.
She thinks that I'm nuts.
No, but serious. She's not even normal.
Okay, my mission is that I have been assigned by God. God is using me as his instrument. You know, St. Francis of Assisi says, Lord, make me...
I wish I didn't have you as
make me, I know it's tough, but he says, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace.
I just need to go like this, okay?
And so...
No, shut up, Mama. I don't want to hear this. It's so annoying.
I know it's annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it.
No, but
I tried everything I could to sleep last night.
I'm gonna explode.
Well, explode, damn it. Get it over with.
Haswa,
What?
you might hurt yourself. Why'd you do that?
I like paint.
Wasn't that your painting?
I didn't like it. Any questions?
I'm a bit concerned about you. Are you gonna be okay?
I won't kill anyone. I'll take my meds. I'll smoke a little pot just to get by, not every day.
These paintings tell the story. The madness in love, the crazy love. This is what this is. These galaxies, these ethers, the volcano. It's in my way. You know, get this out of my way so that, you know, dégagez, man, dégagez the place so that I can move forward. So it's like these tantrums. I fight myself, you know, I fight. I'm like, come on, let go, let this happen, and then boom.
For me to help you, you have to tell me what's going on in your mind.
Okay, I'll let you know what I'm thinking so that I can check with you what's true and what's not true.
Yeah. So we can figure out when it's a delusion or when it's real.
That would be awesome. That would spare me so much trouble because I feel so overwhelmed sometimes when it's not true and I believe it.
I don't know why that happens.
Your father, right? He called God the director. He said that through him, God can create changes of reality.
My understanding was that Sean was going to be setting up what was called satellites. So this house or temple in principle was a satellite, and there were going to be various satellites around the world, the main one being in Australia, and it was going to be used to save people because Armageddon was coming. More and more, almost daily, I was sent out with 1, 2, 3, or 4 people to stores to steal. And we were told, though, that this was part of saving them. So even though they didn't know consciously, the people that we were stealing from were actually going to be blessed.
Your dad was very, very good at convincing people to do things that they might ordinarily not do. He had that kind of a persuasive ability.
How would he do that?
How? It wasn't by the words he was using, you know. He had this intensity about him, you know. The tone of the voice. You know.
He had me go out and look for girls that he said were for the disciples because they needed some, they needed some grounding. They needed somebody, they needed to have girlfriends. So I started doing that, and then realized later that they weren't for them, actually. They were for him, because he liked to go out and meet other women, and I know now have affairs with them. I don't know how many he had, but that was his intent, was to go out, and he called them angels. So I was to go out and find angels.
Me, I kind of was like shying away from him. He forced me to make love when I didn't want to. He shoved me down the stairs. He locked me in the bathroom. And he came in the shower with me and he just beat me up. I was on the floor with water running on me, crying and curled up in a ball and scared to death. And I just went, what am I gonna do? I just kept saying, what am I gonna do? I have my little baby there in the crib.
Did he ever apologize?
No, not really apologize, because he would always say, it's gonna make you stronger, you know? You don't understand it right now. He goes, but I've got to make you a warrior. What you're gonna experience someday, you're going to need all the strength you can have. We were having like a big fight. He was trying to keep the kids from me. And the police were called, the police came, and they said they'd deal with everything that was going on here. It was just a scene.
It had gotten so out of hand and so diluted that the safest thing for him to do was to leave.
photographs, and I saw these ghosts in my room. Like it was funny. It would look like we were like spirits, like, because like they say the photograph like takes someone's soul. You heard about that?
Hello? Yeah. I'm going down. I'm going to see him. To see what's going on. Because it sounded really bad. Like he was breaking something now. Okay. He's screaming.
Oh. Hi.
Is everything okay down here?
What does it look like?
Okay. Whoa. Hello, yes. I'll need some help.
Mon frère, il commençait à lancer des knives. Je pense qu'il est, he's delusional. My brother needs help. No, I'm upstairs. My sister just went downstairs and he started throwing. I'm upstairs, yes, but he's downstairs. Yesterday he was in mania, and I think he needs psychiatric help right now. He needs treatment.
I think, it'd be a good idea for you to take your medication tonight.
Oh, you think so?
So you'd have a good night's sleep.
Right. Why do you think that's important?
Well, you haven't slept in like 2 days.
Okay. That's cool.
It actually isn't cool.
Why?
Well, because, if you don't sleep tonight, you'll just really deteriorate really quickly.
Really?
Yeah.
You seem to know so much about me.
Well, you're my sister.
Right.
And my best friend. We're neighbors, we live really close, we see each other every day. I know you really well.
Do you?
I do.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever you say. But I'm not taking anything.
Why not?
Because I don't want to. I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to tell you why.
It's just when you were well, we talked, and you said that if you would, your state would worsen, you would take your medication to prevent yourself from going back to the hospital and going through all of that again.
Yeah, I gotta get ready. Time to go, time to fly.
You want me to film you? Okay. Can I see yours, Kalina? Can I see yours? Yours is pretty. Show me. Okay. Wait, stay there. Don't move. Can I see yours? Can I see the next one?
Welcome to Douglas Mental Health University Institute.
I have been watched for the past almost 2 months now.
But at least, in the hospital, you're safe, no?
Yeah. So I do embrace that I was sick and I actually did need psychiatric care, yeah. Because I keep coming back to the hospital and he showed me my files, right, as a patient. And there were 6 huge binders. Whereas everyone else had 1 binder, me it was 6 binders. But I did want to talk with you because your documentary is coming along nicely and it's nice to see actually something come out of all this madness.
Well, now that the hospital is sending you to detox, I think that would be the best thing for you.
Yeah, you're probably right. How do I look?
Hey, Francois! What are you doing here?
Ahoy, matey!
I thought you were going to detox.
Maybe you can make sense of what happened. I don't know what happened. I'm still all confused.
I'm panicking because mommy is nothing. Mommy's
Okay, the fact that I'm here is okay. It's just mommy doesn't want me to use, so I'm not. But I'm on medication, so I okay. Okay. So I can make some kind of agreement with mommies. I could be I'll go to the counselor. I'll call me. Yeah, okay. So I'll call me. Là, je suis sur le lithium. Puis je vais rester sur le lithium. Je vois que j'en ai besoin.
On va reparler à l'hôpital des fois.
L'hôpital?
Exception Renault a appelé, puis elle m'a donné rendez-vous demain à 3h.
Pourquoi t'es pas resté?
Là, I wasn't listening.
C'est sûr que tu peux pas rester ici, ça c'est certain. On a déjà parlé de ça, mais si c'est moi qui te force à rester ici, c'est pas vrai?
Well, I did say those things. Can you get that camera off of me? It's not a little game.
C'est toujours la même chose. Moi, je peux pas. Ça fait 10 ans que ça dure. Moi, je suis plus capable. Tu dis que tu vas arrêter, tu reviens ici, regarde, la première fois, la deuxième fois, tu arrêtes 1 mois, 2 mois après, tu recommences à consommer. Ça suffit, là, moi, je suis plus capable. Ça fait 10 ans. Puis le traitement là-bas, c'est supposé t'aider à arrêter de consommer. Tout ça, tu n'es pas capable d'arrêter. Tu as besoin d'aide.
Je ne veux plus consommer.
Là, tu dis ça, mais dans 1 mois, dans 2 mois, ça va revenir comme avant. I was scared to death. We had to call the police on you.
Yeah, they arrested me. I think...
They did not arrest you. They went to catch you so you wouldn't hurt yourself.
I feel, and we all feel like you'll be better off on your own if you start living your own life. And I mean,
I'd like to be a member of the family.
You will always be a member of the family, but you cannot live here because it's not helping you. When you live here, you always go back to the drugs, and I cannot live like that. I just can't, and we can't. Nobody else. Because Jeremy has suffered too. I mean, he choked to death seeing you suffering, and me too. I almost die. I'm sick of it. I don't want to see that. And you got to have your own place.
I'm sick of it too.
I don't want to control your life, but you cannot live in my house no more. You have to have your own place.
Sean and I were on the mainland, and he has, brought me with him to be his helper. He was on the run at this point. He couldn't use his real name. I couldn't use my real name, and that's when fake names started being used. I was sent out to look for women so that he could hook up with somebody else and become like a little family person, change his name and change his identity. Us being in one town, him being with somebody for that time, and then having to move on, go to another town, and then I'd be sent out to look for more women there. We went across the country that way. I would make him look like every woman's dream, and women that were vulnerable would fall for it.
How would you describe my mom at that time?
She was just, part of his plan. He had gotten a property to make a little hideaway retreat over in the Caribbean.
Tisha, come here. What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't know.
Come on, talk to me.
Nothing.
Alicia. Hi, kitty. Figaro. Hi, Figaro. Hi, Figaro. Peanut. Hi. Hi.
Hi, Kalina. Hi. Hi. Shiny boy. Shiny boy. Tisha. Figueroa. 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 Hi. Figueroa. 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 Hi.
In court today, a man authorities say was the leader of a religious cult was sentenced to a year in jail on 9 counts of theft. Prosecutors say defendant George Doobie ordered his disciples to steal hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of goods.
George Sean Doobie pleaded no contest to 9 theft charges. Authorities say he was the head of a religious cult called Significance. In 1982, the cult allegedly operated a theft ring, bilking thousands of dollars from local businesses.
I take responsibility for my mistake, and I am truly sorry.
Okay.
All my months in prison helped me, made me a humble man. I have truly learned my lesson, and I promise you that you will never, ever see me in another court again, ever.
Judge Watanabe sentenced Doobie to a year in prison subject to early release. What that means basically is that once all the paperwork is done, Doobie could become a free man. That, according to prosecutors, could be as early as today or tomorrow.
When he was in jail, you know, he had a psychological evaluation then, and he, at that point, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and that he had to take a medication for it, a lithium, and that he was going to do that for a while, but he was going to find some health alternative way of dealing with that. I felt when he was telling me about it, you know, some sense of release, a relief that there's some explanation for this, other than, you know, I'm really crazy and I don't know what to do about it type of thing, you know, that it could be biologically based, you know, obviously some experience based, but that was also something that my father was, when they talked about post-traumatic stress disorder that he had, they also said he was manic depressive.
Dad was a captain in the Army at Pearl Harbor in Korea. He was caught and he was a prisoner of war, tortured. He came back from Korea and the alcoholism got worse. It was all a secret. We lived from crisis to crisis to crisis. We got used to that adrenaline rush. We didn't know it at the time that it was but it's an adrenaline rush. You're scared and you're threatened and you know you have to figure out, it's fight or flight, right? I'm just remembering, I think there were a couple times when my dad struck my mother and my brother fought back. And that enraged my dad further. But it was difficult because when he was sober, he was the kindest, gentlest man I've ever known. You literally, in order to survive, have to disassociate from reality. And so things are fragmented, and you're living in these. You begin to sort of have a role that you live here and a role that you live there, and it's real, but it's not real. I think we were all sort of in some kind of fantasy world, for sure.
What happened today? Well, I'm not sure if I had worked long enough to get employment insurance. So I went to the welfare office because I have about $1,700 in my account, and I have a daughter who I'm supposed to be supporting on my own. So, with the bit of wisdom that I have, I'm like, well, I better get some sort of financial security in place for her until I figure, what the fuck I'm gonna do. So in there, at the desk, I have to fill out my form, right? Here we go, back to square one, back to the welfare office. I'm just like, yeah, I can either laugh at this and love this, or I can hate this. And I used to hate this. I used to hate going back to the welfare office and thinking that I'm such a piece of shit because I can't get my life together. I can't provide for my daughter, And this time I was going there and I was just like, I don't care. I don't care if this is happening again. I don't care. And I'm there and I'm filling out the form and I filled out, my last job was at the chocolaterie. I was there from mid-September till about February. And so they asked me what happened. So they asked me on the form what happened. And so I write that, well, I had a problem of health. I had a health problem. And they want to know what kind. And so I write bipolar disorder. And I'm like there, and I'm like, well, that's what happened. Like, black and white. And I'm just like, well, I can't keep running from this. I can't keep hiding from this. I can't keep hating myself for what's beyond my control, for what's going on. And then I'm like, well, if I can just see what's really going on, what's happening, well, then maybe I can do something about it. But as long as I keep hiding and I keep feeling ashamed and I keep denying that there's anything wrong or that there's something going on, then I have no strength to face it or to overcome it. So I just gave them the form and that was it. You know, they say they give me an answer. And okay, fine.
What led to this? It's like there's just, these are all pieces from different puzzles. They don't go together well. Yeah.
So you were in Mania when you drew on your walls? When all this was done?
Well, yeah. When into psychosis, I think is more appropriate. Is the more appropriate term. This is what I have right now. I have.
So it's quite a cocktail.
Well, this I use for sleeping, if I need to sleep, and it can work. Usually, this is if I go crazy. I've taken this because I just wasn't feeling well, and I was like, okay, well, if I take this, I'll feel better. I took this, and I felt 100 times worse. And I had the worst day at work the next day, and it put me to sleep right away after I took it. So, this and this is for the side effects, just side effects. And I haven't been taking any of this for a few months.
You know, I'm wondering, how much did you know about Dad and his, you know, his comportement, his bipolar disposition? How much did you know about that? Did you even know about that, about him?
I was trained in psychology, so I obviously I knew that something was wrong, but I care for him, so I tried to help him as much as I could. Maybe I should have gone earlier than I did from the relationship, but it's easy to look after the fact and say that, you know, it would have been better, but when you're into it, you don't really know what would be the outcome. And for me, it was just, you know, taking care of the kids. There were small children, so I tried to do my best with that. And for him, he was so busy with all his business things, so it was not like a normal relationship, you know.
Did his instability affect us as children? Was our own lives unstable and full of change and full of movement from place to place because of him?
You remember that time Dad throwing things, the papaya on the wall, or breaking furniture because we had so much disagreement that it was, our value was the opposite. That's why I started thinking about it was time just to leave, because as far as I could, keeping the safety of the boat together for the children, for him it was just total freedom, total chaos.
I've got 6 small. I got 6.
That's not fair. Just hug it back.
Hey, that's right on the lens, man. You shit, man. It's not funny, man. I don't care. It's fucking not funny.
You start to hit me.
I don't give a shit.
What I saw in Dad, I was totally convinced that it was normal. That was just who he was. I wanted to go back to live with Dad, and Mommy's was trying to talk me out of it. I remember her talking about Margaret in the Caribbean, and I remember our mother really being afraid of her, really being afraid of what she could do.
So at one point in Hawaii, like way back, when all of this was really fresh and the cult was very active, and I was on Oahu and George was on Kauai, and there had been some upheaval with situations, and we had a phone conversation, and he asked me over the phone to make an oath with him to follow him, trust in him for, my life until death do us part, basically. I don't recall the exact words, but I know the word until death, and even to the death kind of thing. My whole life culminated in the meeting of him, and that was my purpose and my destiny, and I believed that with every fiber of my being, and I loved him.
And so at this point you have how many children together when you guys are living here in this house?
4.
And do they know that he is their father?
Now they do.
But at that point,
at that point,
did they know?
No.
So
No, it wasn't until quite a bit later when they were allowed to know, because they weren't allowed to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why weren't they allowed to know?
I don't know. I don't know. He was involved with other people, and he didn't want them to know that he had anything to do with me that way.
Jamil, how is life on the ferry? Christian, how's life on the ferry?
Fun.
Angie, how's life on the ferry? I know, popcorn.
Boy.
Hello? Oh, hi. Is this, Kalina? Yeah, Angel. Yeah. Hi, how are you? I'm good, thanks. How are you? Great to hear your voice. Wow. I had that sense of, wanting to know who my parents were. And then I chose to get out of that whole situation and realized that was certainly not the path I wanted to live. I didn't want to end up like my parents.
what I saw was two people who were so caught up and so lost in a sea of lies, because both of them were pathological liars. So everything my mom said was a lie. A lot of times she did act very similar to him in regards to just insane highs and lows. Like I said, that, you know, one day being totally calm and within like an hour screaming and yelling and totally freaking out and doing a complete verse like 180. I think it was my mom who came to me and said, you know, your dad wants you to come and live with him. So I took the opportunity because I wanted to know who he was and I wanted a relationship with him. My dad consists to tell me that I'm extremely arrogant and I'm extremely prideful and I need to be humbled. So the only way to humble me is to shave my head. And I have to go through this in order to go through this, you know, cleansing process to make me a humble and good person. So the first time, and I didn't want to do it, and I was like, no, I don't want to, and the first time, they basically talked me into it. So my mom was the one who literally shaved my head. And they had me go to the hospital, and they put makeup on me so I looked like really, really sick. And then they made me tell everyone that I had leukemia. I didn't have leukemia. Yeah, they didn't acknowledge that it was abuse. They didn't acknowledge that this was wrong. Well, then when my hair grew back, then he told me that, you know, we were going to tell everyone and to tell people that it was Herbalife products that healed me and that now I was healthy and now I was healed, so we were going to get a bunch of money.
George told me that he met a woman who was very wealthy. She was a pivotal person in the Herbalife International organization. And then he said that he was going to marry her. This is the place where George proposed to Jerry. So from my recollection, George and Jerry are walking along this, you know, sidewalk here, right? Very romantic. And all of a sudden, an ape or a gorilla comes along the rocks over there. And he comes along the rocks and he comes running down here and he grabs Jerry and he pulls her over here like this. And, you know, George comes running and tears the gorilla away from her, and the gorilla goes down on the ground, and then George gets down on bended knee, you know, and pulls out the ring and says, Jerry, will you marry me? I will marry you! And they get up and hug. And that was that. The other thing is that I had arranged for the TV man to come from one of the local TV stations to come and film it, saying this is what's going to happen. Can you come along and film this? So they did that, and then they put it on the news that evening.
He's a very, very special man. I love him very much.
Not too much hesitation with the answer there. She had no choice.
No.
It was either me or the gorilla.
Yeah, you said that perfectly. I had no ultimatum.
And how did he explain it to you that he was going to marry this woman? Because you guys were supposed to be together.
Yeah, well, he said, you know, that he was marrying her for the money. You know, this wasn't something new that was like, you know, it's like this was years of experiencing this in some format or another.
I, Danielle.
Hi, Danielle.
Choose you, Jerry.
Choose you, Jerry.
To become my loving wife.
To become my loving wife.
My loving companion.
My loving companion.
From this day.
From this day.
On to eternity.
On to eternity.
And Jerry, will you accept Danielle and his promises?
Yes, I will.
took the plane to Hawaii, and I was with him at his home with, you know, his wife at the time, which was Jerry. The first few nights I cried a lot because I was without, you know, all of you. My mother, my brothers, my sister. And I kind of found myself all alone. He was very immersed in this whole other world that I knew nothing about. I was 12, and I was just kind of left to on my own, and I was thinking, this is not what I'd come here for. I come here to be with my father.
I was always in some way isolated from everything at an early age. And when we came here, the habit of being isolated continued. I remember at adolescence that there was something terribly wrong with me, that I knew there was something, but you kind of like just forget about it. And then when I was an adult, and then I got the psychotic episode, well then it was clear to me that there was kind of an explanation to a lot of things about me. Well, it's funny because if you're taking drugs, you're kind of searching for a state of psychosis. So it's like I'm constantly searching to be in psychosis in a way. But then the effect of the drug wears off, and you're very unsatisfied with things. Stop raining, I think. You can be pretty ill and not be hospitalized.
Do you think that's what happened with our father?
But for me, it never seemed like it seemed as if it wasn't something that preoccupied him. More that he was who he was, and the whole whatever, I don't know. Yeah, but it's funny when I look at myself now. I see, I envy him in a way, because he didn't. It's like he didn't have to see himself as like permanently damaged or something.
From the very beginning of my manic episode, I felt like I began to understand him in a way that I never understood him before. To this day, it still seems surreal. His death, how it happened. Because it was never explained to us.
My mother informed me that she had taken the kids and that she had moved to Thailand, and why she was following him and why she was doing all of this. The way she had always told it was that there was this promise that one day they were going to get to be together. And now he's gotten into this relationship with this Thai woman who she told me was completely poor, and he always had a reason to be with all the other women when he told my mom. But she couldn't find that reason as to why he was now with this woman. So a week before I was supposed to get on a plane and go to Thailand to see them, see my mom and the kids, she called me on the telephone, extremely upset. And she told me that she'd had enough, she couldn't take it anymore, and she wanted to end it once and for all, that she wanted to shoot him, she wanted him dead.
ทั้งสองคนนะฮะทั้งแดเนียลและจีน่ามาในลักษณะถ้าเขามาเนี่ยคือเขาจะเป็นลักษณะคือถ้าเป็นคนบ้านเราคือเหมือนคนเครียดโต๊ะนี้ก็ยังอยู่เป็นปกติจะเป็นลักษณะนี้เลยแดเนียลจะนั่งอยู่ฝั่งนี้จีน่านั่งฝั่งนี้คุยกันไปเรื่อยๆในลักษณะบางครั้งก็มีแรงมากเหมือนกับทะเลาะกันต่อรองเรื่องเงินเรื่องอะไรแต่เขาก็อยู่กันจนเป็นโต๊ะรองสุดท้ายซึ่งจะมีอีกโต๊ะหนึ่งได้ยินเสียงตรงนี้เราก็มาชะโงกดูมันก็ไม่เห็นแล้วก็ได้ยินมีคนวิ่งก็มาอยู่ตรงนี้มองออกไปช่วงนี้ได้ยินเสียงละปังตอนนั้นมืดละผมมาปุ๊บจีน่าวิ่งมาพอดีรถเขาจะจอดอยู่ตรงประมาณแถวนี้นะก็เห็นเขาซุดอยู่ตรงมันจะมีรถยนต์อยู่คันหนึ่งจอดอยู่ตรงนั้นแล้วเขาก็ซุดอยู่ตรงหน้าเยื้องๆเฉียงก็คือเกือบจะกลางฟุตบาท
So she ended up only serving 3 years of the sentence. In the trial, she was found guilty of premeditated murder and possession of the weapon. So in her trial, they found her guilty as well. But she really, the whole process of that, just kept saying, no, it was self-defense, it's not my fault. And that's what she continued to say.
I feel that when a person, and me in particular, is run down to the ground so low where underlying you are made to feel like such a piece of crap that any kind of kindness you cling on to. So, I really underlying just was treated in such a way and made to feel like I was so low so nothing that all I had was George. There were moments of, you know, him, I mean, being very charming and very cute. He could be very cute and say things like pick out thoughts from my head and say something about that, you know? Just these moments of charmingness and throwing out a bone, you know? Oh, I love you, you know, or I don't want to talk about that night. I don't want to talk about going to meet him. It just leads into that.
Because, so for me, like, you're the only person in the world that can answer these questions that I have of, you know, why he died. You know, I feel like I've been haunted, you know, all my life. And I would know what happened. You know, I can let that rest in peace and move on.
Once it started really snowballing, it went very, very fast, Kalina. Very fast. There was no time to think or plan. I mean, my brain was just, I couldn't, I just couldn't work it out. And I didn't see it coming. And maybe he did, I don't know. Why would he say, shoot me? I mean, even that doesn't make sense, you know?
Well, I mean, if you had a gun in your hand and...
No, but nobody says, shoot me. I mean, you know, he knew, I mean, that was taking a pretty big chance, you know what I mean? I mean, anybody else, especially him, would say, oh, honey, you know, like, stop, don't do that. You know what, we'll go away together, you know? Whatever how we normally operated, right? And maybe he wouldn't be dead now if he'd done that. Maybe that would have, you know, I don't know, but, you know, why did he out and out say, you know, did he really choose? I don't know. I don't know.
Say to myself, I want to die, 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 I want to die. Sometimes I'll just say to myself, I want to die.
No one else understands out there. It's like they don't speak the same language as I do. Montserratian.
Montserratian.
I speak Montserratian.
Montserratian.
So in reference to the island of Montserrat where our filmmaker was born.
Yes.
The one who's filming this right now. I wonder where she is.
I don't know.
Where is she? Is she on a break right now? Is she doing anything at all?
Gina!
Okay, no, she's behind the camera. I'm just kidding. We never hang out. This is okay. I've on the record. We haven't done this ever.
I feel like giving you a hug right now, but
you know, huh? You know you're not allowed.
soap opera starring Sean and Felicia.